Shalom, shalom. I would first like to begin the lesson off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the other bishops at Great Millstone who've taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and salutations to the brothers out there pushing this truth, the 100% truth out there on the highways and the byways, the Akim. As well as you few sisters out there listening and learning, the Aqua to you also say shalom. It is your brother, Sakabar, back with another lesson through the spirit. And as you can see on my screen, man, just wanted to talk about this graphic that one of the brothers posted on Instagram. Caught my eye. Damn, say at least 21 people deleted in Central China after an explosion at a fireworks factory on Monday. And they've continued to send over those strikes as well. So we know that this war is not ending no time soon. Regardless of what the social media is. Now, with that being said, man, obviously this is showing, societal collapse, the new world order, right? We've been saying this, man. These Edomites over here in America and the West, they have to set something off in order to implement the MoTB on a mass scale, right? It's gonna be worldwide. It's not just gonna be in Babylon, the Great America, but majority of these prophecies take place over here in this land. Already seeing once again Sweden being mentioned as one of those places that's implementing the C-hips into people. Now, the fact that people can't see that these plagues and stuff like that are spreading to different lands or different places is once again beyond me. I mentioned that in my camp lesson yesterday. But this is for sure going to come to pass. And as we said, man, I have, this a little agenda. You all seen this before. New World Order, UN Agenda 2030 as they go, right? They want to get all this stuff done by 2030. Now, we're at 2026. That's 4 years from now. Do I think the Lord is speeding up the times? Yes, I do. Do I think that this is going to happen before then? Yes, I do. And Lord willing, it does happen, right? We're seeing a lot of these digital wallets. Why do you think that is? It's to implement the MoTB. One world central bank, one world military, the end of national sovereignty, right? You're going to have a universal trading coin. It says the end of all privately owned property, right? You will own nothing and be happy. The end of the family unit, right? This is the divided kingdom. Depopulation, control of population growth, and population density. We've already seen the videos of Bill Gates talk about this. If we roll out this amount of V's, then we can reduce the population by 3 to 4 million people, right? Just straight wickedness, man. Says mandatory, multiple, you see the word, I'm not going to say it. Universal basic income, as I was saying. Micro C-hip society for purchasing, travel, tracking, and controlling. Right, that's what it's all about. So with that, let me go ahead and get into this real quick. I'm thinking about Michael 1 and 4. No, Malachi 1 and 4. It's locked. Second Thessalonians, the fourth chapter. The Second Thessalonians, the second chapter. In the first verse, it says, the man of lawlessness. It says, now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that the day of a Mashiach is at hand. That's the times that we're in, man. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, which is Esau Edom. There's only one main group of people who have caused destruction upon the earth as much as a white man, right? They're the only people. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as a God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So that goes into that control part, man. They literally think that they are the most high power. So through this digital and technocratic world, they're going to try and control the population through those means. Whereas the Lord has control over everything that goes under the sun. You know what I'm saying? Has control over the world. You looking at Daniel 4:17, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. So he controls everything going on the right-hand side, the side of righteousness, the left-hand side, the side of wickedness. So you can't outthink or outsmart a power that's that significant. Let me get this. It says, Marco C. Society for Personal Travel, Tracking, and Controlling, right? They jet fuel prices going up. Spirit Airlines just closed, right? So it's going to be more and more limited travel, gas prices going up. All of these things, which I don't realize, you see small things like this and think that it's small when it actually ties into a bigger picture, which is societal collapse. And as the brother Gabar Yala said, the elder brother, and when I was in GMS St. Louis camp, it's all gradualism. These past 6 years, and of course it's been going on since before then, but these past 6 years have really, had a spotlight on them because of that first test run that went on where everything was shut down. Since then, like I said, even before then, you've seen a lot of their plans be sped up. They've been implementing more and more stuff because really Esau Edom is, that's the spirit, man. Esau Edom is really behind and the things that they're doing. Right? They're really behind. They're supposed to have been implemented this stuff. But I'm looking at redacted though. It says a micro C-hip in your hand, Sweden's digital ID, micro C-hip experiment 10 years later. I'm gonna go ahead and watch this video later, but he just what's that nigga name? Walter Clayton. They just posted this 3 hours ago. But that's the spirit, man. There's a reason why these things are coming out. The Lord is making notice of these things and making it known and putting the spirit on brothers to talk about it and putting the spirit on people just to mention it, because very soon that's good. This is going to be real life. Like this, that image I put up is going to look very similar to how real life is going to look, man. Coming upon societal collapse and these people trying to control the world in a last attempt to revive the empire. Now it says implementation of a world social credit system like China has. China has that, like I was mentioning in my lessons before, if you get a certain amount of points, you can't like access certain things, whether that be online or whether that be like stores and stuff like that. You get a certain amount of points and it's just a lot of things are limited. They have certain IDs that you have to have in order to log into the internet or go and search on the web in Australia. These things, we're seeing the things that are showing the signs that these things are going to come to pass in other countries. best believe it's gonna come to America. They said Sweden is pretty much like a testing ground for all new innovative shit for Esau Edom. It says trillions of appliances hooked into the 5G monitoring system, which they're moving to 6G now. That's how you know this is a little outdated. Internet of Things says government raised children, government owned and controlled schools, colleges, and universities, right? Indoctrination. The end of private transportation, owning cars, etc. Because everything costs so much. You even looking into the tariffs, a lot of these car brands and stuff like that, the better ones were being made in foreign countries, and it's costing more and more to get those cars imported into the United States. All businesses owned by government/corporations, right? There really isn't such a thing as a company, like I said, a corporation that's not that the government or these bigger corporations don't have their hand in. Or they try and come and buy you out, or they just take your shit or shut it down. It says the restriction of non-essential air travel, human beings concentrated into human settlement zones, which is those FEMA camps that the elder brothers have talked about for years now. Cities, the end of irrigation, the end of private farms and grazing livestock. Kill Gates has invested a lot of money into that, billions of dollars into farmland. He has a good amount of acres as well. We know that crops are failing as well. This is from 2 years ago. I got this. So just imagine how much older it is. The end of single-family homes. Like I said, division. Well, no, Salaki. The end of single-family homes. Single-family homes. Yeah, people can't even own houses no more. Like, it's going up and up. I mentioned that in my lesson the other day when I was talking about the American dream as well. Restricted land use that serve human needs, the ban of natural, non-synthetic drugs, and naturopathic medicine, and the end of fossil fuels, right? They're trying to move to technology. Now, we're looking at this. It says Digital Roman Empire. We can go ahead and get a precept, man. Revelation, the 13th chapter. Well, matter of fact, let's go Daniel 2:40. The revived Roman Empire. All right, it says Rome, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. It says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, which this is the divided kingdom. But there shall be in it of the strength of the iron. For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with merry clay, right? So it's going to be a strong part of this kingdom, which, that goes into America having a strong military power, and, the weaker parts of this kingdom. Because really, America is the forerunner. They really do make up the revived Roman Empire. And then you have the other nations, the 10 horns, 7 heads, the 10 horns, those nations that are part of the EU / or really the EU, or EU and NATO. It says, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken, like I was mentioning. And we're starting to see this kingdom, break, right? They're even having division within their own house. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with merry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, which it goes into nepotism. If you look at it, as far as concerning the presidents, this is a little girl who did this. She might have been in like middle school age, and proved that all the presidents were related to each other in some way, shape, or form. but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So that's just talking about the revived Roman Empire. It says digital Roman Empire. It says love, loyalty, obedience. The potato chip unites us. Resistance is death, right? But we're going to resist, man. That's going to be one of us, Lord willing. It's going to be one of us, a martyr, and there's nothing wrong with that. Comply, connect, be loved, or die. You cannot fear these damn heathens, right? Know that you're going down for a purpose. It says, accept the chip or face execution. The C-hip is love. The C-hip is lovely. Or it's supposed to say loyalty. Loyalty. C-hip is you, right? Playing mind games, stuff like that. It says one empire, one heart, one system. Marco C-hip is love, right? Now look at all these damn goats out here, man. Some motherfuckers who are falling. And there's a lot of people that's going to be like that, man. Family members, friends, all that stuff. Complying. And as you can see, it's an implant station. Obey or die. Revelation 13, verse 15 says, and he had power to give life under the image of the beast, which is the system. The image of the beast shall both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, a physical mark, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. It says, here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666, so 666. But you're gonna have a lot of people out here who get tempted, man. You can't fall into that. This is Revelation 3, verse 10. Well, let me see. Revelation 2 and 10 says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, which devil just means deceiver, which is Esau Edom. He's going to deceive the whole world through these means, trying to heal the deadly wound that was healed. He's trying to heal his deadly wound once again. It says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And that's where we want to be. It says, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death, which that second death is going to be the lake of fire and brimstone. What was the first death? The first death was the flood that overtook the earth during the times of Noah. Now we're going to Revelation 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, right? Which it's going to come over across the whole earth, man. The whole world. It's going to be tempted, right? You may have people who have kids, little children. If you don't take this, you can't feed your people. You really going to leave your children out there starving? I just got to do this for my family, man. Right? People are going to be cracking in that day like eggs. But we got to stand strong. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So you have these people coming out here saying, oh, they're going to force it on you. They're going to force it on you. They're going to make you take it. Like the brother Shaquat says, if you are in a situation like that, the Lord is not fucking you. Because you're going to have a choice in that day. That's why we call this the biggest test. The biggest spiritual test, right? And that's what we're preparing for right now. While it's the grace period, we're preparing ourselves spiritually to pass that test. It says, behold, I come quickly, hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown, right? Don't bet your crown, man. You gotta hold it, you gotta know it's there. As the elder Marco Bar says, you gotta see it, man. You gotta see the finish line and see yourself receiving that crown from Yahweh Shah Mashiach. It says, him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go no more out. And I will write upon him the name of my God, the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God, and I will write upon him my new name, right? The kingdom of heaven on earth as it is in heaven. So just wanted to hit on those a few things, man, concerning this. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying to those out there listening and watching. I'm gonna close it off there. If you get that thing, you're marked for death, and there is no coming back. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. With that being said, I'm gonna close it off there by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone, once again, who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel, Shalom. And as always, we're one day close to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Shalom, Israel, Shalom.